Donald Trump's hush money criminal trial has started in New York. It was a packed Manhattan courtroom, as you can imagine, prosecutors outlining their opening arguments against the former US president. He's accused of conspiracy to cover up the payments to porn star Stormi Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign. Joining me live is former White House Chief of Staff and now Bondi Partners consultant Mick Mulvaney. Mick, great to see you. Of course, there's going to be a lot of interest in this. Is it hurting or helping Donald Trump at this point?
Oh, it's helping him a little bit, LJ. Keep in mind, he's got 4 criminal actions against him. He's got 1 in New York, got 1 in the state of Georgia, and then 2 in Washington, D.C. with the federal government. This is by far the weakest of the 4. Keep in mind, in this country, paying hush money to people to not tell their story is not illegal. Buying someone's story and then not printing it, which is called catch and kill, is not illegal. This is a paperwork case. The charge is essentially that Donald Trump spent money to try and influence the outcome of the 2016 election and then took that as a business deduction as opposed to a campaign finance expense. That's it. That's what this case is about. And for that reason, it's been derided even by some Democrats from the very beginning. I think it was announced about a year ago as being a fairly weak case. But it's a real case, and it started today. But generally speaking, Trump so far has been able to use this to his political advantage.
Yeah, it'll be theatre and fodder for this election year. I thought Michael Avenatti's intervention was particularly interesting. He was Stormi Daniels' lawyer. He certainly has a very checkered and colourful past, but he says today that Donald Trump was a victim of the system. Now, that could just be Michael Avenatti chasing headlines, as he's well known for, or he could be genuine.
There's a name I've not heard for a long time. I thought Michael Avenatti was in jail, honestly,
that's
but that's another story here or there. Yes, these sorts of cases do tend to attract all sorts of interesting personalities. The opening statements were today, Laura, and what you saw was the prosecution essentially making the case that here's why we're going after Donald Trump. This was a conspiracy to influence the outcome of the 2016 election, and the Trump's response was essentially, the state would never be bringing these charges against any other human being in the world other than Donald John Trump. In fact, very few people have ever been charged with these crimes that Trump is now charged with. So that's about what you expected today from the opening statements. The first witness will be the publisher of the National Enquirer, a tabloid here that was actually involved in buying stories that were bad for Donald Trump and then burying them. Again, that's the catch and kill sort of provision. So the trial wrapped up early here today. It's still Monday here, so it's Passover. And the trial wrapped up about 2 p.m. local time here because of Passover, and will begin in earnest again tomorrow.
Okay, we will watch and cover with a lot of interest. Now, question without notice, Elon Musk and Anthony Albanese, our Prime Minister, have engaged in a war of words. Elon Musk looms large over America, perhaps more than he does in Australia. Any advice for our Prime Minister? Is he going to win this one?
By the way, I love how you described it. A question without notice. I've never heard that. It must be an Australian term. Here's my advice to Albanese. I would give it to anybody who's asking. I have no idea. I've interacted with Mr. Musk about half a dozen times. The man is certainly different. There is no question. They say that true genius is really hard for ordinary human beings to understand, and I'm an ordinary human being. So, no, I have absolutely no advice. I couldn't give Donald Trump any good advice about how to deal with Elon Musk. He is his own unique type of human being, and I just wish the Albanese government the very best. And no, I got no special insights on that.
Well, the Prime Minister has described him as an arrogant billionaire. Right or wrong?
Yeah, well, if you put 1,000 billionaires in a room, I guess that description will probably fit most of them. That's not the issue here. He thinks in a different way. I've had conversations with him, LJ, in the White House. I used to talk to him before he would go in and meet with President Trump, and I would walk out after half an hour having no idea what he was talking about. So it's very difficult to interact with him, and I will be curious to see how the Albanese government does.
Why is that, Mick? What do you mean? What are your interactions personally like with Elon Musk? Because his interviews are really interesting, particularly from, a few interviewers have been scarred and see their careers ended. But does he just, does he take pleasure in talking about things that people just can't understand?
No, we have a saying here in our version of the English language, which is that he's on the spectrum, which is that he just doesn't think like other people think, and you can't accomplish. In fact, I guess the thesis is you can't accomplish the stuff that he has accomplished and be normal. You just can't. And that true genius is abnormal, and that's what he's got is true genius. So you could say, good morning, Elon. How are you doing? And he will talk for 25 minutes and you have no idea what he said. So, look, I don't want to get in a fight with a guy, so maybe I should stop now. I don't know how easy got in a fight with him, but my guess is it's probably advisable to move on to the next topic with the Albanese government, because you're not going to win against Elon Musk.
Yeah, okay. Really good advice, Mick Mulvaney. We'll leave it there for today and not get you in any more trouble. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, LJ.